This is Hylia. She's a character in the Zelda series who was introduced in Skyward Sword, and I have a lot to say about Hylia. But not now. What's important right now is that she was a critical character throughout Skyward Sword's narrative. However, while she was created for Skyward Sword was created to establish a timeline. What they wanted for Hylia was for her to be the crucial piece of the puzzle that was the series' lore, so this meant that the writers were now forcibly handed the arduous task of making this character relevant to 14 other games for which she was not present. Their solution to this, though ungraceful, was understandable. They stapled her to an existing character, one who was present for all those previous games. Unfortunately for Hylia, the character Nintendo chose to staple her to was Zelda. Yeah, if there's one thing I regret saying in that first Skyward Sword video I made, it was the implication that Zelda, as a character, was fine.
This female character isn't strong or independent enough. Ignore the evidence to the contrary. We need to fix this.
Cool argument, me. Unfortunately, your mom. Like, you want to show some actual evidence, or are you just gonna show these pictures of her being vaguely cool? Oh, look, in that one she's got a sword. Awesome! So, what does she do in that game with that sword other than drop it? I also absolutely love that my two other examples of Zelda being a good character are from Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker. These are the two most frequently cited examples of Zelda being a good character, after all, and yes, it is true that in Ocarina of Time, Zelda was the one who gave us the main quest, and was responsible for teaching us fast travel, and is the canonical reason that we were able to get through the Spirit Temple at all. On top of all of that, it is heavily implied that she is the one who got everyone to safety single-handedly when Kakariko Village was burning down, and aided in putting out those fires. It is true that she did all of that. But it is also true that she did all those things while in disguise as a man. It is also true that as soon as that disguise was removed, she was immediately captured by a man and needed to be rescued by a man.
Gosh, Tarot Card Zero, when you say it like that, you make it sound like this would be better if Link was a woman.
Yes. Wind Waker does this better, but that's not saying much. Like, she's not in disguise as a man, for starters. She's a badass pirate captain with a crew of pirates. She and her crew break up a monopoly, and she personally kicks Ganon in his stupid face. But she did all of that under the name Tetra, not Zelda. Hell, even she didn't know she was Zelda this time around. And as soon as it was revealed that she was Zelda, she was whitewashed, like, yikes, wow, what the fuck? She was told by men to sit and wait while the men do all the real work, and then was immediately captured by a man and needed to be rescued by a man. I'd like to point out that in both instances, this happened as soon as she ditched whatever gear she was in favor for a princess's dress. The character was immediately damselified as soon as she started presenting more feminine. The actions of Sheik and Tetra are contributed by Nintendo to Zelda. Their exact words are that it's just Zelda in a different outfit, but the moment Tetra puts on the princess outfit, it's like she becomes a different person. Tetra's bravado from before is gone, and she is replaced with a humble, soft-spoken Zelda. So, Zelda is allowed to have agency in her own stories, but apparently just not under that name. She has to disguise herself as a man, or be unaware of her history and be a butch pirate, or effectively kill herself and be reborn as a dragon. And yes, I firmly believe that this would be a lot less yikes if we could play as a female character. Just a little something. Yes, girls can be cool heroes who wield legendary swords, but Nintendo has gone on record saying that if they were going to have a female protagonist in a Zelda game, that they wouldn't make a lady version of Link. They'd just have us play as Zelda herself. Okay, fine. Fucking do it then! Alrighty then! Wait, really? Awesome. Good lord, what happened to your hair? Wait, what is that music? Nintendo, what are you doing? Wait, no, Nintendo, no!
This time around, Link has vanished. Now, it's up to Princess Zelda to step into the protagonist role. You might be thinking, will Zelda fight with a sword then? Here, we wanted to create a new gameplay style that breaks conventions seen in past Legend of Zelda games with a top-down perspective.
Well, to quote Neril, in a way this is exactly what we wanted, but in a twisted monkey's paw kind of way. Yep, we finally have playable Zelda in a Zelda game, but she doesn't use a sword, or any of the other familiar or iconic things, and is more focused on platforming and stuff, and is arguably not even mainline. Nintendo, sexism isn't solved because we play as Zelda, especially not when you go out of your way to showcase that she's incapable of fighting the same way the boy can. Compare this to Erdrick. This reveal was the highlight of the Direct for me. I love Dragon Quest anyway, but seeing this, I was so happy that they kept gender options I almost cried. God, am I really this desperate for what should be a basic feature? With only 3 of the 10 mainline games having that as an option, I was terrified that they were going to take this out, but there she is! Femme Erdrick is back, and she's going to wield swords and axes and heavy armor, and she's going to kick just as much ass as that boy version of her from the boy dimension ever could, and she's going to be able to do it in the exact same way. And it infuriates me to no end that no one can seem to understand my perspective on this. To me, the entire point of a female protagonist is that you are playing the same game, except the protagonist is now a lady. Playing with my preferred pronouns shouldn't determine how I'm allowed to play, and it certainly shouldn't change the entire fucking genre. In having Echoes of Wisdom play so differently from other Zelda titles, Nintendo has not only completely missed the point of what we were asking for with a female protagonist in a Zelda game, but is also perpetuating the stereotype that women aren't as strong as men. Post-recording Tarot Card Zero here, I wanted to interject with an extra example of this kind of thing. Just about everyone, or at least everyone I've seen, including myself, who wants to do a fan-made remake or sequel to or of StarFox Adventures, wants to make Crystal the playable character, or at least a playable character. While debatably not falling into the same trap of implying that women are weaker than men, this would give us a playable Crystal in a StarFox Adventures game, not a StarFox game. And while Echoes of Wisdom is arguably a spin-off, and I would argue is a spin-off, StarFox Adventures is unquestionably a spin-off, and anyone looking to play a StarFox game as a female protagonist would likely be at least somewhat disappointed. Playable Zelda was doomed from the start because Nintendo gonna Nintendo. Playable Zelda was never going to be enough. We need Lady Link. And Nintendo, if you're so dead fucking set on there not being some parallel universe where this character's a girl instead, Link has a sister. Just switch their roles in the story depending on the player's decision. You'd have to make her the same age instead of younger, and you'd have to make her look cooler, more aerodynamic if that's the right word. But hey, I'm sure even if you did change her up a bit like that, that one of the most important characters to what is clearly the team's favorite game in the series would love to have some time in the spotlight again. Or at all.